Enjoyed my time with Lorenzo and Frank. I thought they were both good guys. Lorenzo was much warmer and easier to get along with than Frank. Frank was kind of an intimidating kind of guy. He was older and he was a big shot. He was a Las Vegas. The whole family were big shots, but um, Frank was kind of an intense dude. That doesn't mean he wasn't cool and fun, and we had plenty of great times and had plenty of beers together and good times and laughs together. But when Frank got serious, everyone everyone stood up straight. So Frank was kind of respected as the elder and the wise man, but he was on the mat rolling with Dana and Lorenzo and John Lewis and Tito back in the day. So he was game for anything. Interesting thing about the brothers, their upbringing was different. Um, Frank went right into the casino business. Frank had held like every job at the station casinos by the time he was made president, CEO of station. Frank was a dealer and Frank was a pit boss, and Frank had gone through the ranks of the Vegas casino life. And Lorenzo was the younger brother, and he was a little bit different. Lorenzo, he went to school, I believe, in San Diego, and then he went to business school at NYU. And then he joined the company. So it was, two different routes to get to the same place, but their office at station was connected. They had a door in between their office that was always open, and one desk could see the other desk. So I think Frank at the time was CEO, and maybe Lorenzo was president, but they get along very well. They spent a lot of time together. Anytime we traveled, both of the brothers were there. And like I said, they were up for anything. Frank did all the trips. When we all went to Tokyo, when we used to go to LA for stuff, or we went to Laguna for the retreat, they were always around. So in general, really nice, really cool guys. They were very good to me. I always like to point out how well they treated me in bringing me over as a new employee to a new organization. So we had a lot of good times. It didn't end well, but that was as much my fault as theirs. And yeah, I look back on the year I spent with them with fondness and good memories.
You lived at Station for a while, right?
I did. I spent my first 3 months in Las Vegas. I lived at the Palace Station on the 18th floor in a junior suite at the end of the hallway. Yeah, they put me up in a really nice spot. Um, I lived in the property. I could eat at any of the restaurants free of charge. They gave me a rental car for I think it was 3 months in the